Learned some modes, have you? Excellent. And started jamming with them over backing tracks and so on? Great work. However, I would humbly suggest that you're only really getting the most out of your modes if you understand them at the level of chord progressions as well. So I have here a few really useful chord progressions for you to know if you're interested in using modes to write songs or maybe your own backing tracks. Okay, first up then. Now, I haven't gone absolutely to town in this video and covered all the different modes. I will get on to the others at another time, I'm sure. For now, though, I've followed the age-old wisdom about 3 being the magic number, and I'm just covering 3 of them, specifically the 3 minor modes. The Aeolian, the Dorian, and the Phrygian. And we're going to start with the Aeolian, otherwise known as the natural minor, kind of ground zero for the rest of the minor scales. And I'm going to do these all in the key of A, for simplicity's sake. So the Aeolian, or natural minor scale, goes as follows. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then back to A. Okay, so if we know what notes are in the scale, we can use those notes to extract certain chords from within the scale. First of all, if we take the A note, the C note, and the E note, the first, third, and fifth notes of the scale, we come up with an A minor chord, or an A minor triad. Hopefully no massive surprise to anyone there, the chord of A minor is indeed within the key of A minor. So the A minor chord is going to serve as our root, our home base, for all these examples in fact. So we're going to go from the A minor to another chord that really gives the fundamental essence of the scale. In this case, the Aeolian, we're going to go to the chord built on the 4th degree of the scale, which was a D. Now if we follow the same process starting from the D of going up to its 3rd and then its 5th, we get D, F and A, which is a D minor triad or D minor chord. Now something I like to do with modal chord changes to really emphasise where the home base is to have a root note drone running through it. So actually I'm not just going from A minor to D minor. What I'm going to do is go from A minor to a D minor over A. So we're still really reinforcing the A as our root note. And if you get a little bit of a loop or a backing track going, that will serve you really well to explore the delights of the lead playing with the Aeolian mode. So something like this. Familiar enough sound. Let's see what we can do with the Dorian. Alright, so the Dorian modal scale then is a little bit like the Aeolian, the natural minor, but a little bit brighter. And it achieves that by using the following notes. A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A. So if you've been paying attention, you will notice that it is only different from the Aeolian in one respect. That 6th note in the scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, is now a major 6th. It's the same note as it would be in an A major scale. The others have remained the same as in the minor scale, but the 6th has come up by a semitone to give us a major 6th. So it's all natural notes, apart from that F, which is now F sharp. And that creates a real world of difference when we come up with chord progressions. Let's say we were going to do exactly the same thing as before. We were going to go from the root chord to the chord built on the 4th degree of the scale, the 4 chord. So A minor, still our root, and then we're going to go to a D. But whereas before we went to D minor, let's just look at those notes again. This time, if we build our chord starting on the D note, and we go 1, 3, 5, you'll notice that note in the middle is the one that has changed. Instead of going D, F, A, we're now going D, F sharp, A. And that doesn't give us a D minor chord. That gives us a D major chord. So the 4th chord is suddenly going to inject quite a lot of brightness into proceedings. I'm going to do the same thing and use that A root note as a kind of a drone over both. So I'm going to go from A minor to D major over A. And the loop I've come up with goes like this. That one simple note change has given us something with really quite a different flavour altogether. Okay, let's turn the dimmers right back down now and go to the Phrygian mode. Alright, and lastly for now then we have the Phrygian modal scale. Now this is quite a distinctive sounding one. The notes of it are as follows. A, B flat, C, D, E, F, G, A. Now again, we've only changed the natural minor scale by one note. This case, the 2nd note of the scale. Instead of going A, B, C, we're going for the much moodier sounding A, B flat, C. Which a lot of people find a much more noticeable difference than the major 6th in the Dorian. It's a lot less subtle, we could say. So for our chord progression here, again, we're using our A minor root. We're not going to go to the 4th chord this time, though. To really get the essence of the Phrygian, we're going to really lean into that B flat sound. So we're going to build our 2nd chord from that B flat note. So we can go from A minor and then the 2nd chord, again following our same process of taking the root, then the 3rd, then the 5th. In this case, that's going to be B flat, D, and F. And that is a B flat major chord. Again, I'm going to use that A drone to take us from A minor to B flat over A. Alright, let's have a listen to the loop then. Okay, so when you're experimenting with modes, remember to try out modal chord sequences as well. That will really help deepen your understanding of how to compose with them as well as improvise with them. Anyway, I really hope there was something of interest there. If so, please consider liking and subscribing, and I will see you next time with some major ones. Thanks a lot. See you later.